Do you ever think too much? Your mind keeps talking, again and again. Maybe it happens at night. You lie in bed, but you cannot rest. Your body is tired, but your mind is still awake. You think about a message you sent. You think about a conversation you had. You ask yourself, did I say something wrong? Should I have done it differently? And your thoughts don't stop. They move in circles, like a small bird flying inside a closed room, looking for a way out. You try to tell yourself, stop thinking. But it doesn't work, does it? The more you say stop, the louder your thoughts become. Overthinking feels heavy. It takes your energy and it steals your peace. You start to feel tired, even when nothing bad is happening. Sometimes you ask, why can't I just relax? Why can't I let things go? You're not alone. Many of us live with busy minds. We want to do well. We want to make the right choices. We want people to like us. But sometimes our good mind becomes our biggest noise. So today, let's learn how to calm that noise. Let's understand what overthinking really is, why we do it, and how we can stop it, not by fighting our thoughts, but by understanding them. By the end of this episode, you'll see that peace doesn't mean having no thoughts. Peace means choosing which thoughts to follow and which ones to let go. Let's begin. Let's start with a simple question. What is overthinking? Overthinking means thinking too much, for too long, about the same thing. It's when your mind doesn't stop, even when you already know the answer. You go back to the same idea, again and again, as if your brain is stuck on repeat. Maybe you know this feeling. You want to send a message to someone. But before you send it, you ask yourself, should I write it this way? Will they understand? What if they don't reply? You look at the message. You change a few words. You check again. You read it one more time. And finally, you don't send it at all. That is overthinking. It feels like you are doing something. You're thinking, analyzing, planning. But in truth, you are standing still. You're not moving forward. You're just moving inside your head. Overthinking gives us a feeling of control. It whispers, if you think more, you will be ready. But that's not true. Thinking too much doesn't prepare you. It only makes you more afraid to act. It's like standing in front of a door. You look at the door. You imagine what's behind it. You wonder what could go wrong. You spend hours thinking about opening it. But you never touch the handle. The mind says, be careful. The heart says, just try. And between those two voices, you get stuck. Sometimes overthinking comes from a good place. It shows that you care. You want to do things well. You don't want to hurt others. You don't want to make mistakes. That's beautiful. It means you have a gentle heart. But when care becomes fear, your thoughts become heavy. You start to lose your calm and you forget how to trust yourself. Overthinking doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it's quiet, a small storm that only you can hear. You smile outside, but inside you are tired. So remember this. Overthinking is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that your mind is trying too hard to protect you. Your brain wants safety. But safety doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from trusting more. When you understand that, you take the first step out of the loop. You stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I try and it works? That small change, from fear to curiosity, is where peace begins. Why do we overthink? Why do our minds keep running even when we want them to stop? The answer is simple. Because we want to feel safe. We overthink because we are afraid of pain, of mistakes, of what people might think. Our mind wants to protect us. It says, if I think a little more, maybe I can find the perfect answer. But that little more turns into hours, and the hours turn into worry. Our brain was made to solve problems. It's like a machine that doesn't stop. When there is no real problem, it creates one, just to stay busy. It replays old memories, imagines future ones, and calls it preparation. But most of the time, we are not preparing. We are just trying to control what we cannot control. Think about this. Have you ever tried to plan every detail of something? A trip? A meeting? A relationship? You want everything to go perfectly. But the more you plan, the more anxious you feel. Because deep inside, you can't plan feelings or people or life. Overthinking often begins with a good heart. We want to do things right. We don't want to hurt anyone. We don't want to fail. But perfection is heavy. It doesn't give you peace. It gives you pressure. When I was younger, I used to check my emails many times before sending them. I wanted every word to sound perfect. I was afraid people would misunderstand me. One day, my friend saw me doing this and laughed. He said, "You don't need to sound perfect. You just need to sound real." That sentence stayed with me. Because sometimes real connects more than perfect. Overthinking is not always about logic. It's about emotion. It's about fear. The fear of being wrong. The fear of being judged. The fear of losing control. But the truth is, no one has full control. Life is not a math problem we can solve. It's a dance. We move, we learn, we fall, we rise. When we try to control every step, we stop enjoying the dance. Our thoughts become like a net. The more we fight them, the more we get trapped inside. And that's why overthinking makes us tired. Our body is still, but our mind is running a marathon. There is also something deeper. Sometimes we overthink because we don't trust ourselves enough. We believe others know better. We wait for someone to say, "Yes, that's right." But peace doesn't come from someone else's approval. It comes when you say to yourself, "I'll figure it out." Step by step. So the next time your mind begins to spin, remember this truth. You overthink because you care. But caring too much without acting only builds a wall between you and life. The more you try to control everything, the less you live. The more you accept that not everything is certain, the freer you become. Overthinking is not a problem to fix. It's a message. It's your mind saying, "I'm scared. Please help me feel safe," and you can answer gently, "It's okay. I don't need to know everything right now. I can take one small step." That is how we begin to make peace with our thoughts. Now that we understand what overthinking is and why it happens, let's talk about how we can stop it. The truth is, you cannot stop thinking completely. Your mind will always create thoughts. That's what it was made to do. But you can learn how to guide your thoughts instead of letting them guide you. There are 4 gentle ways to begin. First, come back to your body. When your mind runs too fast, your body becomes tense. You start to breathe quickly, your shoulders feel tight, your chest feels heavy. In that moment, don't fight your thoughts. Feel your body. Take one slow breath in. Feel the air moving inside you. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice your hands. When you do this, your attention returns to the present. And the present moment is where peace lives. Your thoughts belong to the past or the future. Your breath belongs to now. And when you are in the now, you are safe. Second, take small action. Action is the best medicine for overthinking. Your brain gets stuck when it doesn't see movement. So give it something real to do. If you are thinking too much about sending a message, just send it. If you're overthinking your next step in life, write one small thing you can do today. Not tomorrow. Today. You don't need to finish the whole journey. Just take one step. Because once you move, your mind says, "Oh, we're doing something. We're okay." Thinking changes nothing. Action changes everything. Third, give your thoughts a time limit. You can't stop your mind from thinking, but you can decide when to think. Say to yourself, "I will think about this problem for 10 minutes. After that, I stop." Set a timer if you need to. During those 10 minutes, let yourself think freely. Write your thoughts down if you like, but when the time is over, close your notebook, take a breath, and continue your day. This small rule teaches your mind discipline. It reminds your brain that you are in charge, not your worries. Fourth, be kind to your mind. Don't fight your thoughts. They are not your enemies. They are just visitors trying to help, even if their help is a little confused. When a worrying thought appears, you can say, "Thank you, mind. I know you're trying to protect me, but I'm okay right now." This gentle response is powerful because kindness calms the brain faster than control. When you meet your thoughts with softness, they slowly stop shouting. I remember one night when I couldn't sleep. My mind was loud, full of "what if" and "maybe." I tried to push the thoughts away, but they kept coming back. So I got up, took a small notebook, and began to write. I didn't write beautifully. I just wrote everything that was inside me. After 10 minutes, I felt lighter. The thoughts were still there, but they had space to breathe. Sometimes your mind doesn't need an answer. It just needs a voice. Overthinking loses power when you turn it into something real, a word, a note, a small action, a deep breath. Because real life lives outside your head. And the more you live out here, the quieter it becomes in there. So the next time you start to overthink, don't tell yourself, "Stop." Tell yourself, "Breathe, move, begin." That's how you stop the storm. Not by fighting the rain, but by learning to walk through it step by step. You don't need to stop thinking. You just need to stop believing every thought. Your thoughts are not always the truth. They are stories, small voices that try to explain the world. Some stories help you. Some stories hurt you. But you are not your stories. You are the one who chooses which story to believe. When we overthink, we believe that every thought is important. We believe that every worry means danger. But the mind is like the weather. It changes all the time. Some days are cloudy. Some days are bright. The sky never disappears. And you are the sky. Your thoughts are only clouds passing through. When you understand this, you start to relax. You don't need to control the clouds. You just let them move. You can say to yourself, "It's just a thought. It will pass." And slowly it does. Many people think peace means silence, but peace doesn't mean an empty mind. Peace means a gentle mind, a mind that knows what to listen to and what to let go. Think about trust. Trust is the opposite of overthinking. When you trust yourself, you don't need to check everything twice. You don't need to please everyone. You don't need to know every answer. Trust says, "I'll do my best," and that's enough. Trust says, "Even if things go wrong, I'll find a way." Trust says, "I can handle this." And that's true, you can. When you build trust, you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start saying, "What if I grow?" You stop waiting for the perfect moment because you realize the perfect moment is the one that is happening now. Trust is not something you are born with. It's something you practice, one choice at a time. Every time you act, even when you are unsure, you tell your brain, "See, I can do this." And little by little, your confidence grows. Confidence doesn't mean you never doubt. It means you don't let doubt decide for you. So when your thoughts start spinning again, try this. Listen to them. Smile gently and ask, "What would I do if I already trusted myself?" That question changes everything. Because when you trust yourself, you don't need to think so much. You begin to live more. You begin to feel more. You begin to breathe again. Overthinking belongs to fear. Trust belongs to freedom. And every time you choose trust, you take one step closer to peace. You don't need to figure out your whole life today. You just need to take the next kind step. And believe that it will lead you where you need to go. That is how we move from thinking to trusting, from control to confidence, from noise to calm. And that is how we stop overthinking. So, what have we learned today? Overthinking means thinking too much without moving forward. We do it because we want to feel safe. Our mind believes that if we think long enough, we can avoid mistakes or pain. But the truth is, thinking too much doesn't protect us. It only keeps us stuck. We learned that peace doesn't mean having no thoughts. It means choosing which thoughts to follow and letting the rest pass by. We learned to come back to our body, to breathe, to move, to take one small action. Because action brings clarity, and clarity brings calm. We learned to give our thoughts a time limit. To say, "I will think about this for 10 minutes, then I will stop." Because your mind listens when you set gentle boundaries. We learned to be kind to our thoughts, to thank them for trying to help, even when they come with fear. Because kindness softens the noise inside. And most of all, we learned that the opposite of overthinking is not silence. It's trust. When you start trusting yourself, your values, your choices, your heart, you don't need to think so much. You begin to live. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. You don't need every answer. You just need courage. And courage means being brave, even when you are scared. So tonight, when your mind starts to talk too much, don't fight it. Just smile and say, "Thank you, mind. I'll rest now." Then, take one deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. And remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the sky behind them. Calm, open, and always enough. Take 5 quiet minutes today. Sit, breathe, and notice your thoughts without judging them. That's how peace begins. You don't need to stop thinking. You just need to start trusting. That's the way out of overthinking and the way back to yourself.